So what we have here is we are overhauling the suspension on the Peugeot 307. Um, so first thing we did was to remove the shock absorbers. This is a TO5 JP4 engine. These ones appear okay. The stabilizer links, lower arm bushings are okay. Also check the other side, but I'll still check this stabilizer links to be sure they're okay. So these are the Tokumbo purchased ones, got they're complete. And these are the old ones. So what I think I'll do is we'll swap the springs. These are the stock springs for the vehicle, the one that came with the car, most likely from me. So we'll swap. So I can see these Tokumbo ones. This spring is thicker. This is smaller. So it's as if this one is the same with this. So it's ideal to just swap so I know it still retain the factory spring because of the engine and transmission. This one probably for 2.0 liter engine or diesel engine since it's very cheap. Then we'll look at that. I don't think we'll use the disc. So has really look on it. That's eating deep inside. But we'll use the brake pads. The brake pad on the current one on the vehicle. This is the current one at the car. They are still okay and they are OEM, so probably keep them as well. So we'll choose one of the two, and but I think we'll use the old disc. They are better and better conditions. Then we'll look at the fob as well. So now for the rear shock absorbers. So this is the old one. These are the Tokumbo purchase ones. What is the other one? This one. So I've actually tested it before. So they are weak. Not fair completely, but not as good as the Tokumbo purchase ones. These are fully used ones, so not brand new. So this other one too, the old one is also weak. This side too is wobbling. This space has failed, the bushing here has failed. So I'm going to mount this with the shock absorber. So yeah, you can start to mount the shock absorber rear ones. The front ones, you need to do some swap. So I'll keep you guys updated as work progress. Okay, so back on the front shock absorber, the rear ones been mounted. The used Tokumbo ones purchased. Now for the front ones, so I now took the Tokumbo ones, the used one purchased and the old one. So to change the springs, like I said I would do. So while swapping the springs, so first we removed the purchased one, and now found out that the shock absorbers are dead. Actually, what I did was I removed one. First, this one was also broken, and then the shock absorber was bad. So I didn't even bother to remove the second one. So I also removed this is the old one, the one on the car that I removed. So they both are dead. So sorry dead. So you can see one is worse than the other. This one is a little bit better, but it's still bad. has even burnt somewhere here. So I called the owner and told him about what happened. So I advised that we should just get a new one. And which I did the new shock absorber. So what I now did also, I now used the spring here and swap it here. However, on the old one, the shock absorber we actually the height of the car we are extended on the shock absorber, the ground clearance. So they have to remove it. So you can see here, that's the adjustment done before this was mounted. This is one of the new ones. So we have to now swap everything here, the spring and even this cover, this rubber cover, to the new one. So this is the second new one. So you can see it's been mounted on the right side. So it's remaining this way. So the lesson to learn here is not always advised, if you can, avoid buying used shock absorbers. Only buy when you know there is no other option, that probably you couldn't get a new one of your model. And even when you do, I advise test it. Forget about how new it looks, as long as you use one. Call it Tokumbo Nigeria use, it's meaningless. Test it. How do you test it? Especially if it's the one that has a spring on it. It means you can't be able to know the condition of the shock absorber until you remove the spring. So you have to remove the spring and then test. So if you are buying a used shock absorber that has this type of spring, my advice is get it from a contact you have a relationship with, or a dealer, or a part seller, or somebody you have an agreement with, that if you check, if they remove this spring and test and find that the shock absorber is bad, that you are returning it, and you take another one until you see, you keep doing that until you see the one that shock absorber is good. That is the only way you can buy a used one with peace of mind. Otherwise, it will be a waste of money. These ones, most likely, it can't be returned because the owner made an arrangement and they were purchased from Lagos and shipped to Abuja. So as it is now, I mean, it's pointless. I don't know anyway. It's not. I'm not the one to decide on what happens to them. So now for the other components that came with the front shock absorber, we'll keep them. The disc is the only thing here I see that's actually worn. The hub still looks okay. The brake pads are still like, in fact, they still as if they are still brand new. The carry pads appears okay. That's for this model. So in other words, if you ask me, I would say the only thing the owner gained is from this the carry pad, the hub, the brake pads, the disc. The one, not that bad. You can see something that can still be managed, but the one on the car is much better than this. So these are the shock absorber, the front shock absorber mount, the ones that were removed from the vehicle that are broken. This plate is actually the one that was supposed to be on the new one. They were on the new ones, but because we need to adjust this, the owner wants the front end of the car to come up higher than the factory size or height. So I have to. However, I still took this where they did the swap, so that anytime the owner wants to swap back out to reduce the height, this is what he will put back. Remove this, and that will be the end. Okay. So basically the work is about to be completed. Oh, by the way, I got a new stabilizer link. This is the old one. So the old one has actually been replaced. One of the joint here is weak. The other side, the one on the left side, front left side, is actually okay. This one, it hasn't failed. But because I'm buying new, so the new will come with pairs, so there's no point. You can as well just change it too. Maybe I can keep this one in case in future. But it's not as if it's actually OEM. This also has been replaced. This is also an aftermarket. It's still good anyway, but my point is it's not that. But I'll take it to give it to the owner. So that is it. And so soon the shock will something I need to mention on this video. Now the so where I can speak so that this not even be. So this by the way, this is even the side going to the market. So what led to the replacement of the overhaul of this 307 front and the rear shock absorber was the noise that was coming from the front end. So the owner observed it and brought it and asked me to drive the car to see if I can tell where the noise was coming from. So when I drove the car, yeah, I could tell it was coming from the front, and not just from the front, from the shock absorber side. But I couldn't tell which part of it. It could be from the shock absorber itself or any other suspension component on this side. I was hearing it from this side, the driver's side, which is the front left side. So there was when we removed where they did the swap of this spring to the new shock absorber. So immediately they removed this spring from the old shocks. So this started dangling this plate because of this adjustment done here. So it became obvious to me that most likely what was causing that noise that I heard myself when I drove the car was from here. I think this was jumping down because the shock absorber was weak. So if you climb a rough road, bumpy road, so the spring will go in too much, and then this will kind of maybe as if you try to separate from here and here. So the two, because it's not welded together to this, so the two probably will hit each other and they produce that sound. So I had to, the only solution is to put that new one, this one. Hold on, to show you. So the solution is to stop it. This one. Basically, this is the noise was making, something like this. You know. The solution is to put back this one because this one will not make that now. The whole thing is it will not bring the height of the front height of the car lower, which the owner doesn't want. So when I put it to test drive, hopefully since this new shock absorber is still new, that noise should be off or should be gone. So I expect it maybe the only time to come back is if the shock absorber fails. So it may end up actually being a tell sign that the shock absorber is bad. So one can actually use it to know when the shock absorber is bad and then replace it. That's what I want to believe. But until it's tested, until when we are done and drive the car, if the noise doesn't come back, then I know that will be a sign of a weak shock absorber, which could also be something positive for the owner of the car. So you don't actually need any other person to tell you where your shock is bad once you start hearing that noise. That's what I hope it will be. But it's most likely from the way it sounded. When I removed the spring, I could tell, or it looked like it was from here. So now that the shock is bad, so this, I don't think it will spring that bad or give that give it that free space for the two to hit each other and make the sound. So we'll see. So we mounted everything back, and but this job took the whole day. So so what is many now is for me to go and test. So these are the old parts removed. The Tokumbo shock absorbers, the hub, the disc, the caliper, the brake pad, the old rear shock absorbers, the stabilizer links, and then the old front shock absorbers, the shock absorber mounts, the front one. So I think the next thing now is to go and test drive and see how the car suspension is. I eventually have to reset the mirror, the display, and the okay. So, oh, by the way, this is the RT4 of a selected PS7. That's T6. Okay, so like I said, thanks for the test drive. Okay, so we'll see. Keep you guys updated. So I'm on the test drive now. I'm driving on a rough road, and so far no noise. That noise I was hearing at the time when the car had the whole shock absorbers before we started this job of suspension overhaul. Those noises are gone. At least not hearing anything. That's nice and good. Okay, so I think that brings to the end of the video. So lesson to learn from this video. If you can, please just avoid all these used shock absorbers. If you can, or if circumstances allows you to get a new one, just get a new one. If you have the option of you getting a used or new one, get a new one. Especially okay, let's just say if it's affordable. The new ones, the price is now, because the OEMs are not that available anymore. So most of this aftermarket you get basically same price with used ones. The reason being that they are not like the high quality new ones, so they're not usually that expensive. So yeah, why not? If it serve you 2 years, 100,000 kilometers, well, it might be too much, you know. It's right. Even 5 years or more, you can, depending on, like I said, it all depends on how you drive on a rough road, you know. You see, you can see how I drive. If you see road that is very bad, rough, bumpy, drive carefully. Once you get out of that road condition, you continue with your high speed, you know. So all those ones, so so that's the thing. But I know there are cases. For example, myself, even my 407, remember I put a new front shock absorbers there, but for 4 cylinders. So, but after driving the coupe 407 V6 with the that the suspensions are still good. The shock absorbers are still good with the V6 coupe shock absorber. So I fell in love again with that suspension setup. So I've even decided that I may end up risking buying a used one, the factory V6 coupe suspension, which is the piloted variable suspension shock absorbers. So yeah, in that case, because new one is not there, so I could risk, see what happens. But ordinarily, for every other model, that new ones are easily available and not that expensive. Come on, or at least have someone that you know that if he gives you that used one, especially the used ones I'm referring to are those ones that have springs attached on them, which you cannot test there at the point of purchase. So it means you have to take it to the technicians that have the tools for removing the springs from the shock absorbers, because that's the only way you can know throughout the shock absorbers are the conditions, not when they are still on the springs. So if the person will agree that, okay, if you test it and it's not good, you are returning it, and you give it back your money, or that he will give you another one for you to go and test, and maybe keep testing until you now get one that is good, because you have to keep spending too. The person that is removing the spring and testing, putting it back, copying it back, everything, is not going to charge you only for once. So if he has to remove the spring up to 5 times, you have to pay more than the one that is supposed to be one. That's if you had done only that first one for you. So that's the cost of getting a good used one. Unless your shock absorber, maybe it doesn't need or it's not attached on the spring, then yeah. Some models, like the rear shock absorber, some models don't have springs on them, so you can easily test. Like this one, the rear shock absorber, there are no springs on the shock absorber itself. The springs are mounted on the cross members, not on the shock absorber. So you can easily test that one on the ground. That's why the person that got this one for the owner of this car was able to get a good one, 2 good ones. But the front ones, you can't tell until you remove the spring. So let that be I would just say it'll be an advice or lesson for people to learn. Okay, so that's the end of the video. So I'm going to be returning the car to the owner. So until next time.